Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I guess this is the first video of 2023 that I'm filming. So I wanted to come on today to talk about some of my favorite tarot books. Now, these aren't tarot books that I think a lot of people mention. They're a bit more obscure, and I think they're really great for going deeper with tarot. Like, I have a couple of examples of, more beginner-friendly books. Like, you often see books like this where, there's nothing wrong with them. There's a little bit of information, keywords, some illustration. Generally, these books are a bit more aesthetically pleasing, and they're meant for, quick readings. They're not meant for, deep dives. And these can be great for beginners. There's nothing wrong with, getting this kind of book. Obviously, I have this book and this one as well. But at a certain point, I like this one because it has the quotes. At a certain point, you kind of outgrow these books. Like, I don't really reference these anymore because I've outgrown them. And I think what we see a lot on social media is more books like this that are pretty, that have a lot of really nice images, or like, short phrases and that kind of thing. And that's fine. But I think some people who've been studying tarot longer, or who are just interested in going deeper right away rather than just kind of surface level keywords, oftentimes it feels like there's not really that many people talking about the books that go deeper. So I thought I'd do a little video today because I do have quite a few books that I really, really enjoy, but that I don't really see people talking about that much. So this one, WTF is Tarot and How Do I Do It by Bakara Wintner. She is the creator of the, I feel like, what is it called? Should have looked this up before. I think it's the Homeward Tarot. And she also has a shop called Everyday Magic. But this book is amazing. So it's from 2017, and it's just really clever. First of all, this is purely aesthetic, but the pages feel so nice. They're not papery, they're like a bit coated. I don't know. So you get a lot of information. This one's great because it's about gender. It's very contemporary. So I did a poll for myself this morning and I read this. So this is for the High Priestess. So like for the Major Arcana, you get a quote, you get a bunch of keywords, then you get like a long description, and then she tells you an anecdote, and this anecdote specifically is so beautiful. And then also you get a section in a reading. So it's just really in depth. And what's really cool about the minors is like each one has a little phrase. So like the Ace of Wands, it's lit. And like the Three of Wands, looking ahead. So you can kind of get an idea of what the section will be about. And then I also really like that there's this section where a certain card, it'll say what it's reinforced by and then what it's opposed by. So if you're doing a longer or a bigger reading or spread, then you can look and see if any of these come up and see, are they being reinforced or are they opposing it? I just love her style of writing. It's so beautiful, and she just really knows her stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of text, so I think a lot of people are put off by it. But if you're, this one, I did, one of my friends did a reading yesterday, and she got the Nine of Pentacles, and she said she wasn't feeling very Nine of Pentacles-y. And so I showed her this, and it says, cozy AF. So that was like a nice way to interpret it, kind of in a different way than you normally see the Nine of Pentacles. But, yeah, so the minors are separated out, and it's daughter, son, mother and father. Also, see this for the Mother of Swords, so that would be the Queen of Swords. She has a lot of pop cultural references, and it's just really easy to read, but you also get, like, the meanings very clearly. There's a bit about tarot spreads. Like, it's just a really comprehensive book overall. I really love it. I don't know why I don't see more people talking about this. Maybe because it is now, like, 8 years old, I guess. But it's still really, really relevant. So highly recommend this one. I guess this one, Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Cynova. This one's a bit more, I've seen people talk about this more. This one's just great. Like, it's so it's divided up, numerologically. So you'll get all of the aces together, all the twos together. And it's really good. There's, like, reverse meanings as well. And I had an ebook copy of this, and I just highlighted the crap out of it. So I wanted to get a physical copy as well, because I just wanted it as a reference. I just really like the way Melissa talks about tarot in general. It's very no nonsense, which I really appreciate. And yeah, it's nice that there's, like, a little section about numerology as well, if you're into that, which I am. It's nice to you can even just read that if you have a Pip deck or a Marseille. You can be like, oh, I can't really remember what eights do. You can just, look. So yeah, again, this one has more writing, but it does have the kind of traditional Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, so it doesn't stray too far from that. And then, yeah, the court cards are separated out as well. And then you kind of learn what they have in common, which is really cool. But yeah, so I recommend this as well. It's really, really good. Like, this is one of the only books, well, tarot books that I've read, like, from front to back. Because normally I'll, like, dip in and out of it when I'm doing a reading, or I'll just pick it up and read, something just for the sake of it, like flip through when I'm bored or whatever. But this one was just so engaging that I really, really liked reading it. So it was really fun. So recommend this one as well. Another one that I never see people talking about is Mindful Tarot by Lisa Freinkel Tishman. So this one, I guess it's a bit more niche. Because it has a lot about mindfulness in the beginning of the book. So I know that won't appeal to everyone. But if you're interested in mindfulness as a practice, then this is a great book, because it can show you how tarot can be, a tool for self-care and personal development. While still giving great meanings. So this whole section, you can see how big that is. That's just about, like, background of, like, tarot and mindfulness. And then this section is actually, the meanings of the cards. And again, it's mostly text-based, black and white, so I think that's probably why it doesn't appeal to a lot of people. It doesn't look as pretty when you post it on social media, I'm not gonna lie. But the value of this, you just get so much. Yeah, I really like it. And then there's, like, references, to different things, like historical things, and like footnotes. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of information. So yeah, highly recommend this book as well. I was lucky. I got this years ago on Wordery, and for some reason it was only like £4 something, even though it's like a brand new book. I don't know what was going on with that price, but I snapped it up right away. So I think it might be a bit more expensive. So if that's a consideration, keep that in mind. This is probably my favorite tarot book. I love Michelle T. So she's an author in her own right. I have read a couple of her other books. She is just amazing. I kind of want to be Michelle T. She's just so cool. She wrote this book because she's a tarot reader, but I guess a lot of people know her as an author first, but she's been doing tarot probably like 20-30 years. And she used to like sling cards in Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco, which is really cool. And like she talks about that in her other book, which is kind of like a half a memoir, half like fiction. But what's cool is like she talks about her personal experiences in this book as well, like peppered throughout. It's not like she's talking about herself, but there are a lot of anecdotes to show what she means. And what's really cool about this book is every card, it has a section that's like either to be the card or to try to like get rid of that energy or to integrate that energy. So there's like all these different spells and like magic workings that you can do. And for every card, like you can see be the Hanged Man. She has these different things. Be Temperance. Be the Ace of Cups. I know there's I'm trying to think. Yeah, okay, so this, I guess it's not a negative card as such, but it's more of a challenging card than I guess the rest. So it's like working with the Four of Cups. So there's a lot of different ideas that she has. Let's see, what does that say? So getting through the Five of Cups. So yeah, for the more difficult cards, it's like how to work through that energy. She's just a really great writer, and her card descriptions are amazing. She's made them gender neutral, so that's really great. Get the Five of Swords out of your life. Yeah, it's just, I love this book so much. I think because it's just black and white and a lot of text, a lot of people don't post about it, which is a shame because it's an amazing book. So this one's fairly new, but Modern Day Tarot Play by Emma Toynbee. I mean, I should say it's new to me. I don't think it's that new. It might be like a few years old, like maybe 2 or 3 years old. Let's see. Oh no, 2018. Okay, so it's a bit older, but not that much older. But yeah, I really like the way that she describes things, because she breaks it down into different, so there's like a psychology bit, there's like spirituality, personal life, professional life, and then property, finances, resources, health and well-being. So depending on what you want to know about, you can go specifically to that section, which I think is really handy, because sometimes a generic description won't, if it's like a reading about health and it's talking about work stuff or relationships, you're like, well, that doesn't relate at all. So it's good that she's broken it down into all these different categories. Yeah, and it's just, she has a really interesting take on a lot of things. So yeah, let's see. Even with the Two of Wands, I guess the minors have a bit less information, but still a lot of information compared to your generic starter tarot book. But what's really cool as well is you can see like she references other tarot cards, so it's like the combination of them. I don't know if I'm making sense. So this is the Two of Wands. So now is the time to think bigger. Expand the reach of your endeavors beyond the castle walls. So that's like in combination with the Three of Wands. So like expanding your endeavors beyond the castle wall, that's a reference to the Three of Wands. So it's just like showing you how the different cards relate to each other, which I think is super cool. But yeah, again, I never see anyone mentioning this book, which is a shame. This one is great. Oh, oops, sorry. I got a bit blurry. This one's really great because at the beginning of each card, including the minors, there's a little story. And if you're like me, storytelling really helps you put yourself in the card, and so you can understand the card meaning. So it's kind of like, and it's second person, so you know, it's like as if you're in it. And yeah, it just really helps me understand the meanings. So like the meaning's a bit shorter, but there's also journal prompts for each one. There's let me just go to make sure that there's some in the minors. So it's like the traditional RWS imagery, so that's really easy to pick out. So there's a story and then journal prompts for each one. So I think this is a very underrated tarot book. And the last one, now I'm going to admit I haven't used this as much. I think this one's probably quite popular because she has a big social media following. So Tarot for Change by Jessica Dore. So she's like a social worker, but she also does tarot, and all of her descriptions, they come from psychology, and it's really well researched. Her descriptions, they're long, so you get a lot. It's not, a quick flip through and you're going to get the meaning. It's, she asks you to sit with cards and take your time, which I think is really great. And oftentimes, it's about the psychology of the cards. So it's similar to the Mindful Tarot book. But it's so great. Like, I really like her style. If you follow her on social media and you like, the way she posts, I highly recommend this book. Like I said, I've not used it as much as I've used the other books. But it's definitely worth getting if you're interested in psychology and kind of digging deeper into your subconscious. So yeah, that's all of the books. Let's do the thing. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any of these books or what books are your favorite that you think are underrated.